Hey, what's up, people? Pizzal here, and continuing my back to school slash rally, my month-long exploration and celebration of my favorite campus slasher movies. Today, I want to talk to you guys about 1981's Student Bodies. And now, Student Bodies, the best way I can describe it is it's kind of like the airplane of horror movies. It boasts the fact that it is the first horror comedy. Now, it's certainly the first film to satirize slasher movies. Now, keep in mind, this was 1981, so this was way before Scream, way before Scary Movie. And also keep in mind, we're still in that golden era of the slasher movie, still in what I would consider the dawning of the golden era of slasher movies. 1981 was the year of the slasher movie. Yet all those popular tropes, even at that time, were already fodder for parody. They'd already become cliche. And Student Bodies does, I think, an excellent job of satirizing those familiar slasher tropes. The heavy breathing killer, the virginal final girl, the rogues gallery of red herrings, the characters who go off to have sex and die. And it does that in a way that if you're a horror fan, if you're a slasher movie fan like I am, you're going to get the jokes are going to land, and I think you're ultimately going to really like Student Bodies. Now, the story is pretty much your typical high school slasher movie. There's a killer on the loose, and if you go off and have sex, the killer is going to find you and kill you. Now, in the case of Student Bodies, the killer is known as the Breather, which is a very apt title considering that he kind of seems like he needs to be in an iron lung. He's breathing to that capacity. He's got a really bad case of asthma, it seems like. But what's interesting is a lot of the movie is told from his point of view, and we kind of see the inner workings of the slasher for the first time, his inner monologue, the perils of being a slasher in a slasher movie. For instance, selecting a victim who is on the track and field team and can run like a deer, or, getting caught with your pants down, literally, while stalking the girls in the girls' locker room, or even selecting a proper murder weapon. There's a great scene toward the beginning of the film where he breaks into the house, but he doesn't break into the house because the girl leaves the door unlocked, and the movie is quick to show us by pointing directly at the door and by flashing unlocked on the screen, letting us know that she has left the door unlocked. The killer gains entrance, and he overlooks the gun, he overlooks the knife, he overlooks the rope, and instead selects a paperclip to dispatch his victim. The killer uses paperclips. At one point, he uses an eggplant as a murder weapon. We have the most chaste of chaste final girls in the movie. She kind of looks like Kat Von D, minus all the tattoos. We've got her long-suffering, sexually, I was going to say sexually confused, but that's not the right word. Sexually frustrated boyfriend. We have a motley crew of red herrings, which include a severe woodshop teacher who is all about making horsehead bookends, the creepy school principal and his even creepier mother. We have a janitor played by an actor who simply went by the name of The Stick, a very tall, very slender gentleman who could bend and manipulate his appendages like they were made out of rubber. So the movie is very well cast. A lot of really good comedic actors who are odd, let's put it that way, odd comedic actors. So kudos to whoever cast Student Bodies. You did an excellent job. And like I said, if you're a slasher movie fan, a lot of the jokes in the movie, a lot of the setups in the movie, you're going to get, you're going to laugh at, and you're going to find really highly entertaining. At least I do. Now, the problem with Student Bodies is it kind of had no idea how to end. So the first 2/3 of the movie are really fun, really enjoyable, and I really like them quite a bit. The last act of the film, however, is a complete mess because they throw this, oh, it was just a dream twist at us. Then they throw another twist on top of that at us, and it's not very good. Now, Student Bodies has the dubious distinction of having a Alan Smithy title. The producer of the film used the Alan Smithy pseudonym, which, if you're watching a movie and Alan Smithy pops up in the credits as either the producer, writer, or director, that typically means that doesn't bode well. Let's just put it that way. The Alan Smithy pseudonym, for those of you who don't know, if a director, a writer, producer, someone involved in a movie wants their name taken off of it for whatever reason, back in the day they used the pseudonym Alan Smithy. So Alan Smithy produced the film. As a matter of fact, Michael Ritchie, who directed Fletch and The Golden Child, directed Student Bodies. However, he had his name removed, and the directing credit went to the writer of the film. Now, that could have had something to do with there was a Writers Guild strike going on at the time in Hollywood. I'm not sure. Or maybe Michael Ritchie just didn't like the movie. I don't I don't know. But again, with Student Bodies, we have 2/3 of what I think is a really smart, really funny, entertaining slasher parody. And if you're a slasher movie fan like myself, like I said, the jokes will land, you'll get them, and you should find it pretty enjoyable. And I've always admired Student Bodies because it's ahead of its time. It was very, very much ahead of its time, and I've always admired that about it, and I've always enjoyed it, going all the way back to the first time I saw it on cable television eons and eons ago. So if you guys have seen Student Bodies, please let me know what you think of it in the comment section. And of course, since this is lesson 2 of my back to school slash rally, I jotted down a few lessons that I learned while watching Student Bodies. Number 1, garbage bags are death traps for teenage boys. You put a teenage boy in a garbage bag, they're goners. So if you've got teenage boys at home, keep those garbage bags under lock and key. Number 2, don't worry about the holidays, Halloween, or Friday the 13th. If you're being stalked by a killer, mark Jamie Lee Curtis's birthday on your calendar and lay low on that day. If you've seen Student Bodies, you know what I'm talking about. And lastly, eggplants. An unconventional but effective murder weapon. So yeah, those were the lessons that I learned while watching Student Bodies. Thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. And until I see you guys again with lesson 3 of my back to school slash rally, my month-long exploration and celebration of my favorite campus slasher movies, you guys take it easy. Peace.